and thought we'd bring it to everybody's attention, because like last meeting, we had really a pile of papers for everybody, and we're throwing away reams of paper. So the suggestion was that everybody get one of the iPads, since they were like 1/4 the price as normal, but by any means it wasn't trying to force it on. So I'm talking to you now, and like I said, it's a little bit less formal than a regular meeting, so let me have your ideas and your views.
Well, I don't personally care one way or the other. If everybody wants to do it, I'm fine with it, but I'll never touch it except for that specific purpose.
I'll just bring my laptop over. I think the whole reason for getting one was there would be a return of it, and the return would not necessarily be the paper, but clerk's time, printing all of that stuff up, and then maintenance costs. I think we pay by, don't we pay by copy, or?
Yes, our
So-
black and white, we pay like 0.17.
But the thing is, it still adds up, and we printed at least a ream of paper last time, and I saw it, and so I was asked what I thought about it, and I said, you know, if people want it, that's good. I would not add to that cost, because I got a laptop, and I'll bring it over and just connect up, but I don't need all that paper, I really don't, so. And I know the price, I looked at the price, I know what the price of iPads cost, and it was a considerable savings.
I have a Kindle at home that hooks up to the internet, and I have email on, and that I can connect Wi-Fi here. So it's not really a necessity for me, and I get my emails at work that I can print agendas and stuff off of, and possibly we could think about printing double-sided here instead of single-sided, and maybe that might help.
Yeah, I usually do that with big ordinances.
But I didn't really see, I thought it was, even though it's $200-something times 6 people, and then I'm sure they have a monthly data fee on each one.
No,
No,
Wi-Fi
it's just
only.
Wi-Fi.
Okay. So I didn't really need it.
Okay.
We just thought we'd bring it up before you, put it before you and see what you wanted. It wasn't anything that we was trying to force, because I'm afraid, go back to a generation where if it's not in black and white, I gotta see
But
it.
I think it's a move in the right direction. I think we do need to be less.
A lot of towns have gone to that, Newnan one, for instance, and several others where I've been. But, so right now, in the work session, we don't take a vote or anything, but we did need your opinion, and so we will bring it up.
I mean, I could see for Donna's use, I mean, she's the one that's doing notes and stuff during an actual meeting, so maybe for her to be able to transcribe or
Right.
something.
So I can just do that, but I mean, I have to have the print. I mean, I have to print the originals and stuff for y'all sign, so I mean, I do have to print them, and I wasn't considering getting one anymore.
So,
I figured it'd be better for you than it was.
I don't know about it, I keep all that anyway.
so in this same context, would we want to stop these and let us start bringing our tablets or Kindles to the meetings and have it, you know, in a PDF on, so we could do it that
I
way?
mean, I could set it up in one file where everything is just one file.
Mhm.
It's just continuous through the meeting, and I could probably send that to you on a Monday morning or something.
Well, you can send an email just like you do now, we can just
Right.
open it up. And we wouldn't have to print all of it, and you wouldn't have to print all of this if y'all wanted to do that.
I don't know. I think for the most part, I mean, the last meeting was probably the most you've had to print ever.
A long time.
And, I mean, for a meeting, we just don't normally have a whole lot that we have to print out. I mean, this is actually a lot for a meeting these days that we've been having, so. I don't know.
All right,
I don't need one. I've got a that I can use if I have to.
I don't need one, Clay says he doesn't need one, so we'll bring it up. If anybody wants to make a motion during the regular meeting, floor is open for that, and we'll settle it once and for all, at least for the time being. There's nothing else on the agenda for the work session, unless someone has something that they need to bring up.
The only thing that I had emailed about was when we had talked about in the last meeting about the, some changes for the park, and I had not had a chance to look at that, and so I emailed Donna to see if we could talk about that right today during the work session.
We can. Donna, would you get the plat on my desk? Oh, no, excuse me, off to the right on the desk, please. On the floor. Based on what your question earlier about how can we improve the size, increase the size,
Right.
after looking at it with engineers, we can't go too much to the north or toward to the road, to the main street. We could go back where it was originally planned and shows on the original as the big park. So the only other way that I could come up with, and I suggested to the engineer that we move the pavilion 25 to 30 feet this way. And that'll mean that the sidewalk, and I'll show you on there, will still go down the middle off the pavilion. And then eventually, when the other sidewalk that we had to delete up at the top is available to us, we can do it. Then we'll come off there with a second, and I'll show
That's
you.
what you want.
Okay, right now, you'll have an entrance from the parking lot, straight through the pavilion, out the other side into the park. The tot lot was suggested to be here, and the original big playground, as it says, is right there. Now, if you move this, this is 60 feet long. So center on that sidewalk, if you move it 30 feet, or excuse me, 26 feet, you're going to have room for your sidewalk to come off right here. That would also throw this side right here over here if and when we can put this sidewalk in. But that would move this way, give you more room in this area, and from here down, this playground.
Yeah, because that's kind of gonna be a used area if anything other than just to look at, right?
No, not gonna be anything, not usable anyway, because you got a drainage drop right here that we have to leave, right
That
there.
might be a good thing to anyway.
It will, one thing it will do, and anybody that's in this pavilion seated along here, and there's any activity going on here, it will help that angle to be able to see down from
Yeah.
here. So that won't hurt that part.
Plus it moves the whole thing a little closer to the town hall, and I'm sure some people are gonna be preparing meals that they would bring from there to there.
Yeah, they'll be bringing stuff in there, and they'll still be able to go right straight through, but they'll be going through right here rather than in the middle. And they'll give another 26 feet in this area here. And I talked to the county today. They're going to come out in the next few days, weather permitting, and give us a place right here, as far down as we can go, and still pad this out with dirt, pack it, put gravel on top of it so that we can move our warehouse down to here. So that will be gone.
Okay.
And then we've asked them to pad out. This is some of it's a little spongy, all in here. So we need fill, so that it's compact, and then that we'll put the playground material on top of it. Questions?
So ISNE is re-sketching this, is that what you're saying, and
Not
moving that
until I
down?
have this meeting and I tell them to, but they're going to, that's what I'm asking them to do, redraw it, put this up here, and playground all in.
May I ask a question? What's the measurements of the playground?
Right
Roughly,
now-
just
right now
roughly.
it's 12 by 24, the top lot portion.
So it's a tot lot, still not a playground?
No. Listen, the playground will encumber the top lot.
Oh, okay.
Right now, I explained the expense of the equipment. If we can equip anything first, and I'm going with y'all's suggestion, that I say we go with the tot lot equipment first, and then add the bigger kid stuff as we can. Because if you think about the neighborhood as a whole, how many people in Sharpsburg got kids of the age that they're gonna bring them down here to the big parking lot? But if you have anything going on here, a family reunion or whatever, there probably gonna be little kids that will be more at home in the tot lot.
It's one of the easier to supervise from the parents.
May I make a suggestion, Mayor? When you call it a tot lot, put an age reference so people will know exactly what a tot lot is.
Okay, 5 to 12.
Because that would, well, see, that covers a lot of territory, and that's a lot more satisfactory than what you think of as a teeny-weeny tiny little one.
Right. 5 to 12 is generally what they consider on all the catalogs that they have is a tot lot.
At least we'll have the area done out, and then, like you said, we can populate it as we have the money and see a need to do so.
When we get more funds come in, we just, and I think if we were to hold some fundraisers specifically for the playground equipment, I think we'd get some response. In fact,
Quilting ladies would probably do one.
yeah, quilting ladies, and it will be specifically for playground equipment. And
I understand the tot lot part of it, 5 to 12, and the types of things that would accommodate. The big playground, what were we thinking, who was gonna use that?
well, like I said, if you're looking for people around town to come in and use it, there's not gonna be that many. But, you know, if there's something going on here and you got 100 people in here at a family reunion,
Yeah.
you're gonna have kids.
You're gonna have some.
Yeah. And they're gonna need somewhere to go.
So when we do that, and it, how is this all, is this gonna go together as one big thing, or is it gonna be like definitely separated from one group to the other?
Well, that's up to y'all, but I'm suggesting that that this new area that's going to be made
Bigger.
bigger. The tot lot portion would be closest to the pavilion,
Right.
makes sense. And then the older kids, we add that out here as we can.
That's, yes, but it's all one big area, basically. And that way, we can see whether we have, need more room for just the smaller kids that are using it. Because, you know, when they get past 12, they're with their iPad somewhere sitting still under a tree. They're not on a swing or doing stuff like
Now,
that.
we'll have to decide, remember that how these lots have to be set up with the, to contain the, whatever material you use on the surface, you're gonna have to have something to contain that. Now, we'll have to decide up front: do we want to just contain for the time being the small lot, or do we want to contain the whole area and add the equipment as needed? What's your suggestion?
I don't think you want to contain the whole area
Contain the area so we can see it. There it is.
from the beginning.
Mhm.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
What's the priority or the lineup of what's gonna happen first, second, third with gazebo, top lot, pavilion, bathroom?
Okay, we went over that in our meeting, and I tried to answer it for you the best I could, but I will repeat it if you'd like.
Sure, yeah, I didn't really understand it the first time.
Okay. First thing is to put in all the shrubbery, trees, sod, whatever in here. This is what I would consider, and I hope you do, first phase. That needs to be done and done right. This little wall right here, the seating wall, that will be a part of this first part. Then, because you have to have, before we can put in the pavilion and have it active, you have to have a bathroom facility, which will be right there. Now, but in the bathroom, you gotta have the septic tank system in place, which will go right out there where those cedar trees are. That'll be where the new septic tank system will be. But to keep this building from being inoperable as far as the bathrooms is concerned, by going ahead and taking that existing septic tank out, we can't go in here and take up those trees and take up roots and all. Because if you do that, you're gonna disturb that drain field, which is in and amongst those trees. So you gotta come in and cut these trees off, pretty much ground level, which will allow the septic tank guy to get back here where he needs to go, put in the septic tanks, get everything operable. Then we can cut this loose, tie this in. Then, so that's the next phase is after is the septic tank. Then at that point, you can do the bathroom and the pavilion as one, or the bathroom and then the pavilion. And I'm suggesting that we hold off on the gazebo to the end and do the necessities first.
So the pavilion is kind of the first amenity that's, or the real part,
Pavilion
other
and
than the
bathroom.
grounds itself.
Pavilion and the bathroom, yes, sir. Questions? Take care of everything.
And we got the money to handle the $200,000 cap or whatever, that was gonna all come within that budget.
Well, I saw one of your comments and saying, hey, we're gonna go as far as we can, but that's exactly what I'm suggesting that we try to do, and y'all can tell me yes or no. But we take that money and we use it as frugally as possible, if that's a word, and do what's necessary at the time. And when we see the money is running out, that comes later. That's all we can do.
But by now, we ought to know pretty much what everything's gonna cost, right?
Not exactly. We still got bids out on the electrical, we got bids out on the bathroom, we already got just one bid in on the pavilion. And we've got 2 bids coming in on the security equipment.
I mean, you see the pavilion, bathroom, septic, and the landscaping all within $200,000?
Not really. It's gonna be possible, it's gonna be close.
You know, informally, I had brought up the idea to look into a low-cost government loan and see if, instead of using the money that's sitting on hand, if we could get a real good rate, maybe borrow money to do some of this. And once that's up and running, it might work out like the parking lot that we bought, where it would return enough to at least cover the monthly payments, and that way we wouldn't get rid of our own hand cash. But I don't know if that's possible, but I would like for us to look at that direction.
Yeah.
USDA normally does the
Yes,
lowest rate.
USDA's got a good rate, 2% or less. And so, yeah, after we get all the bids in, we know what everything's gonna cost, and we say, hey, we're real close to being able to do everything. That might be the way to go.
And also for playground equipment, I don't really have time to do this, but they, like, Little Tykes, and I don't know who all the little play school, they give grants for parks and stuff. I don't really have the time to search them right now, but that would be a good thing if somebody would like to look into it.
And we have,
I'm trying to.
and I was suggesting that some of the stuff, as long as we can build it ourselves and build it to specifications that will pass insurance scrutiny and all that, that we look into the possibility of doing some other out of polybutyl or whatever we have to build it out of. And I talked to Keith about this, and it's worth looking at doing some of it ourselves.
If we only did one thing, you know, that would be one thing that we didn't purchase.
That'd save us
If we
about
could do one
$8,000.
thing well,
Yeah.
rather.
I was figuring,
$6,000.
yeah, I was figuring the other day, just from one set that in the magazine was $8,000. And I figured up if we built that ourselves, we could build it for about $1,200 worth of material. So that's the difference in, so it's worth looking at. If y'all are willing to look at it, then I think we can.
I have a question. Instead of paying to dig the septic tank up that's already there, why can't you just have 2?
Because the one that we've got is, I don't know how it's operating now, but it's going to fail and fail very soon. Because as soon as we dig up this area to put the bathroom and to put the new stormwater drain system, we're going to disturb the existing septic tank drain field. Especially when we take those tree roots up, it's gone.
You know, we have to have the new one to support everything else, so just tie this little one onto it. It's kind of the way
But, I don't see how this one's still operating, but thank goodness it is. Anything else needs to come up in a work session? A motion to adjourn work session be in order?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
So moved. And at 7 o'clock, we will start the